that music pretty much sums up how I feel. We've just had a catastrophic failure with Restream, and I thought I'd come on anyway, because some of you will be expecting me to be doing my weekly artifact show about the science and art of storytelling, but not today. I had a really cool show lined up. I've just spent the last 4 hours prepping for it. Had guests coming in, I had open all cams, I had and it's not worked. So the fellas and ladies over at Restream are very sorry. I'm not quite sure what the problem is. They're having difficulties with different browsers. They did have a problem with Chrome, so we've been using Firefox. They've now got a problem with Firefox. We're back using anyway. You get the gist. It's not working. So so I'm sorry. The thing about it is that you'll see I'm smiling. I mean, it used to be, I remember years ago when things like this happened, I used to get really stressed, but there's no point anymore because Restream, sorry, are doing their very best, as are all the streaming partners like StreamYard, to try and help us get online and make sure it's consistent. And to be honest, they're all learning. And every week I have issues where in the background that, they fiddle with something and it doesn't quite work. And then they bring out a little video and you try to follow it and it doesn't quite work. And then you give them feedback and they say thank you. And it is quite an iterative process. Couldn't say that after a glass of wine, but so that's what's happened this morning. So it's no disaster, but it's a shame because my guest who was coming on today, Marcus, is an absolute hoot. I don't know if you're watching, Marcus, but I thought I would postpone because people were actually tuning in from Finland and from Australia and from America, and I didn't want them to be hanging around waiting for it to start. There's a couple of things though that I will just say that could help next time you come on. But before that, last week, at the end of last week, I had my I think 4th live keynote of the year, and it was for Open UK, which is an online based, effectively I guess it's an organisation stroke non-profit, which looks at open source technologies and how they can promote that across the world. And it went really, really well. We were using Google Meet, which I didn't really enjoy using, I have to say. I don't know if any of you have tried using it, but it didn't work particularly well for me. It's not as flexible as using Zoom or even using Restream when it works. But nevertheless, it went really well. And what was good about it, the really good thing about it was, although it was online, and we're getting used to all this virtual carry on, people were asking lots of questions, and we went on for 1 hour and 50 minutes. So I mean, that is ridiculously long for a keynote, but it was the questions really. They just kept coming, and we thought, well, we've got the time, let's do it. So this can work, and I certainly enjoyed it. But I'll tell you the thing that I've said this to some of my colleagues, mainly in the filmmaking area, that when you do lives, it does give you almost like a superpower, because things are going to go wrong. Videos aren't going to run. Lower thirds are not going to work. Your captions are going to fail. It's all new. So you've got to get this layer of sort of and get on with it. So there's a lesson in that for us all. So thanks very much for those of you who have watched. A couple of things I just want to finish and show you, because there was a few things here. There was a video I was going to show today. I'm going to show it again. It's only a few seconds. And on the very, very first show of my storytelling show, I showed this. And of course, we only had I had about 10 people watching that day. And so I'm going to show you this. It's from Game of Thrones. And I think it really sums up why, of all the tools that I could have focused on that help to inspire the human and human resources, which is what I'm trying to do, basically, this really sums it up beautifully. So I don't know if you've seen this before, but I love it. Let's hope it works.
What unites people? Armies? Gold? Flags? Stories. There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story. Nothing can stop it.
Doesn't that just say it all? He's quite a character, isn't he? And I think that's true. So If you're interested in learning more about stories and you want to go dive deep, I've now got a Facebook group, and I know some of you are watching right now are already members of that Facebook group. It's called the Empathy Engine. And the reason I call it that is because I believe that a good story can really extend how far your impact can go, extend the empathy that you have. It can project it further. So that's why we called it the Empathy Engine. I got it actually from a wonderful writer called Chris Riddell, or Riddle, as he would be called in Scotland. And he said a good book is an empathy engine. And I believe that that's really important. So thanks for tuning in. I'm very grateful that a few of you have come and sat with me for a few minutes. That's really good. I hope that you have a chance to go over and have a look at my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Scott MacArthur. Everything I do goes on there. We're growing that. And I'm delighted to say that some of you have been good enough to start supporting my creative work by supporting me on Patreon. Patreon's a way that you can buy creatives. I'm not sure I like that. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's okay. Patreon's a way you can support creatives by buying them a cup of tea, buying them a pint. Not long till we can have a pint in the UK again. So you can buy them a pint every month to support their work. And goodness knows we're all going to need a few pints by the end of this. So thanks very much. I'll see you hopefully. Now, this is interesting. Restream are messaging me during a stream. Something else I wouldn't suggest that they do. So that's more feedback required for Restream. So thanks very much. And I'll see you on Tuesday. And Marcus is coming back. So look forward to that. It's terrific. And there's going to be some really weird hats. They've done it again.